Hey y'all, my name is Yvette and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be recommending some queer holiday romances. It is very much not 'tis the season to be recommending queer holiday romances, but both time and holidays are fake, so this is what I'm going to be doing today. All the books I'm going to be talking about are going to be either novellas or short story collections, so all pretty quick reads, and there's going to be about 8 of them, so jumping right in. The first one is going to be Fo Ho Ho by Nathan Burgoyne. This is a Christmas gay romance by a gay male author. It has a fake dating trope, and it is friends to lovers between two men. The main character, Silas, comes from a political conservative family who he has distanced himself from for being generally conservative and terrible, and the only person he still has contact with is his sister, and she has decided to have a last-minute chalet Christmas wedding. And that's great because he loves his sister and he wants to go, but the only problem is that he's gotten out of going to all the previous family events by saying that his roommate is his boyfriend and that he has to go to all of his boyfriend's family's events. So now Silas's family thinks that they are together, so they just decide to roll with it and go to the wedding together as a couple, even though they are just friends. Even outside of the romance, so much about this book delighted me. Silas is making an app to help you learn about queer history, and there's this line about how most queer kids don't have queer parents, so the way that culture and stories are passed down is different for queer people than it is for other marginalized people, and it's not something that's taught in school, and that makes it super important for us to talk about it and talk about it in a way that doesn't leave out trans people or people of color. And Silas, as a white cis gay man, is trying really hard to get it right. And there were a ton of tabletop and RPG references that made reading this really fun for me. As for the romance, which is the actual point of this book, the relationship was really sweet. The relationship had the kind of development you could expect from a 152-page novella, but super enjoyable, super funny. There were also a lot of family shenanigans that you could expect for this kind of situation, with that added dimension of Silas being queer and his family being conservative and terrible, but it wasn't stressful to read about. Like, it was still lighthearted and fun. It was also very corny in a way that you can expect a holiday romance to be. Like, if it was any other romance, it would be too much, but for a holiday romance, it was just right. The next book I'm going to be recommending is American Christmas by Adriana Herrera. This is book 4.5 in the Dreamers series, and it is a Christmas romance by a bisexual Afro-Dominican author. I've only read the first 2 books in this series, and I could tell that there are characters popping up from the other books that I haven't read and that I wasn't familiar with, but I didn't find it confusing for them to be there, even though I didn't know who they were. I think a part of me not minding that is that I was reading this for the Christmas romance, and the book did that really well. So we follow Ari and Yen, who are 2 restaurant workers who have recently been accepted into law school and nursing school respectively. It has been a very long and hard road to get to where they are, both professionally and as an established couple. This is their first Christmas together, and they are trying to find the perfect gifts for each other to show how much they really mean to each other. This book is if you are looking for something utterly heartwarming. Like, there's a bit of angst, but mostly heartwarming. So little time is spent with this couple in regards to page count, but I really felt for them. I believed in their relationship, and I was rooting for them to figure things out. I also love that Adriana Herrera is giving us this kind of content and doing it so well. It's people with trauma specific to being people of color and immigrants, and how that affects everything else, like buying expensive presents and allowing yourself to be happy even in the happiest time of the year. And like, writing a holiday romance and including all that as just a natural part of our characters is so nice and refreshing to read when most of the holiday like movies and things that are advertised to you are super white. So yeah, the characters are excellent and the relationship is so soft. It's just a couple who love each other very much, and that's what the whole novella is about. The next book I'm going to be talking about is No Room at the Inn by Brooke Winters, and this is an erotic romance about 2 women who work at a BDSM hotel, and it's written by a queer female author. This book is very helpful and then elicits content warnings right in the beginning, so I'm gonna go ahead and read that off. No Room at the Inn is an erotic romance novel that contains explicit sex scenes and kinky sex scenes. This includes dominance and submission, bondage, foot worship, voyeurism and exhibitionism, humiliation, fantasies about group sex, spanking. The point of view of the main character is Catholic. There is a flood and one of the characters gets caught in it. This is not described in detail. One of the characters has a panic attack and there is a mention of a car crash. So this novella had a lot of feet stuff in it, and like, before reading it I had a feeling feet stuff wasn't for me, but after reading it I am like more than 100% sure. But if it is for you, then this novella is for you. The 2 main characters, Emma and Sylvia, work at a BDSM hotel as a bartender and security guard respectively. They are also occasional play partners, but only casually, despite Emma having feelings feelings for Sylvia. One night there's a flood and they're trapped in the hotel. There's only one bed left and they decide to share it. This novella is kind of hard for me to talk about. I didn't enjoy it because of all the feet stuff, and there was nothing wrong with it. Besides that, I found it to be a pretty nice novella, but it just wasn't for me. But I can say that the consent was really thorough and well done, and there was also some great emotional yearning. Emma wants to be with Sylvia so bad, both as her official sub and her girlfriend, and this novella is just having sex and yearning for each other. The next book is another book by Adriana Herrera, and that is Mangoes and Mistletoe. This is a foodie FF romance about two women who are competing in a holiday baking competition in Scotland. They are both Dominican, as is the author, and they are paired to compete together as a team. One of the women wants to focus on Dominican flavors in their baking, and the other one wants to steer clear of those to avoid being shoeboxed as like the Dominican team. That woman is also the one who is determined not to pursue anything romantic with her baking partner. She wants to focus on the competition and win it, and she doesn't want anything to get in the way. But this is a romance, so of course that doesn't last very long. Just upon seeing the other woman and seeing that she's Dominican, she's just like, oh. This is a very cute story, and I really like the baking competition aspect of it because I watch a lot of those shows, and all the descriptions of food were so good. And the couple is pretty great too. There's that dynamic of one of them being grumpy and one of them being sunshiny, and there's an only one bed trope, so if you like any of those things, I think you'll like this one. Next up is Being Married by Micah James, and this book also has that grumpy sunshine dynamic, but the grumpy one is even grumpier and the sunshine one is even sunshinier. And this is a Christmas romance between two women, and it's by a queer black female author. Noelle is a doctor, but she's new to town and she doesn't have a place to live yet. Her co-worker connects her with her sister, Lennox. Lennox has a spare room that she very reluctantly rents out to Noelle, and she's the kind of woman who likes her own space and she likes to keep to herself, and she does not like holidays like at all. So when Noelle comes crashing into her life, and who is actual literal sunshine and who is overflowing with genuine Christmas cheer, their personalities clash. This book is a good example of why I love the sunshine grump dynamic so much, because you have this sunshine character who is genuinely kind and optimistic and nice, and when they meet the grump character they might clash at first, but sooner or later the sunshiny character is going to bring the grump character down to their knees, and the grump character ends up so soft for the sunshine character. So yeah, this book is forced proximity meets the unrelenting joy of the holiday season, and it's really good. I don't know if y'all could hear it before, but my neighbor was mowing their lawn, and now my dad has decided to mow our lawn right now, so it's just really loud, and I don't know if it's coming across on the footage, but I'm just gonna keep on recording and hoping for the best. I don't understand why either of them are mowing the lawns right now, because it is 1 o'clock in the afternoon and it's 80 degrees outside. Like, this is the worst time to mow a lawn. They gotta stop. Like, they have to stop sometime. How long does it take to mow a lawn? It does not take this long. The next book I'm going to be recommending is Frostbite by J. Emery. This is a Christmas and New Year's romance, and the author is Ace, and their pronouns are they, them. This is an MM romance between a vampire and an ex-vampire hunter, Morgan. Morgan has just left the family business, and he's avoiding the fallout from leaving the family business by going to his friend's cabin in the woods. Only when he gets there, he finds a passed out dying vampire on the couch. The vampire Ezra, he had been kidnapped by a rival vampire clan, but he was able to escape and run away through a forest and stumbled upon this cabin, and he's decided to seek shelter there during a snowstorm. They end up getting snowed in together, and they have to figure out how to live with each other until they can leave safely. This one is so much fun. It has 1001 tropes, super tropey, but like in the best way, because it's very self-aware, and I feel like the author was just having a good time writing this. There's the enemies to lovers trope, getting snowed in, there's only one bed, there's the trope of the monster and the monster hunter being together as a couple, and just so much more. This is probably the least like holiday-y book on this list, because most of it takes place in between Christmas and New Year's, so it's probably more cold wintry vibes than it is holiday vibes, but this is my recommendation list and I want to include it. So yeah, I definitely recommend this if you're looking for something fun to read. Also, this book came with its own content warning, so I'm gonna go ahead and read those. Scenes of violence and injury, including kidnapping, drugging, and minor character death. Sexual situations, consensual. Mild kink, blood and blood drinking, fire and injury due to fire. It's so fucking quiet without the lawnmowers going. I feel like I've been screaming. Oh my god. Oh my god, have I been screaming? And getting towards the end of the list, the second to last book I'm recommending today is Kiss Me at Kwanzaa by L.L. Bucknor. This is a friends to lovers Kwanzaa romance between a gay man from a Honduran, Black, and Jewish family and another gay man. Ish and Aiden are co-workers, and though they don't know it, they both have crushes on each other. So Aiden invites Ish over to his family's Kwanzaa celebrations with the plans of maybe making a move. And that's basically the whole thing, because this is a 36-page short story. It's something you can read in less than an hour, so if you're looking for something a little bit more bite-sized but still chock full of holiday cheer, this is it. As a side note, I do want to say that I am on the hunt for a longer queer holiday Kwanzaa romance, but I haven't been able to find one, but it has to exist. Like, I know it has to exist, so if you know of one, please let me know. And finally, the last book I'm going to be recommending today is Wanting a Witch by Laura Connolly, and this is an FF winter solstice romance between a vampire and a witch. A few years before the start of the novel, the main character Ketha was attacked by a vampire and she was sent to the hospital, basically on the brink of death. One of the nurses on duty was Ro, who is also a witch, and she called her vampire friend to turn Ketha into a vampire. And now years later, Ketha is back in town and she wants to thank Ro for saving her life. So the relationship dynamic in this one is that Ro is the strong, silent type who doesn't say a lot, but right underneath the surface there's a woman who's very weak for Ketha, who on the other hand is very lively and bubbly and sweet. There are some circumstances that happen that lead to Ketha staying with Ro in her home, and they quickly fall into this very domestic routine that they both secretly love, and they very quickly become very comfortable with each other. This was a very sweet and low stakes novella about two women falling in love, and I also really like the fantasy elements in it. Like, it seemed like those elements were there to support the plot rather than this just being a romance with fantasy elements. Like, it wasn't a terribly original fantasy world, but it seemed like those magical elements served a purpose to the story, and that was pretty cool. There's also a strong element of finding a new family after the family you were born into rejects you, and I really appreciate that in a queer holiday book. Content warnings for mentions of a past suicide attempt. So that is going to be it for today's queer holiday book recommendations. And to be clear, I am aware that there is a giant hole on this list where Hanukkah romances should be. I've bought a couple of them and they are on my Kindle ready to be read, and I will talk about them the next time I do another one of these recommendation videos, because I'm probably going to do another one because I really do like holiday romances. But yeah, that was an oversight on my part and I have taken steps to correct it. If you read any of these books, let me know what you thought about them in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.